topic for today is project implementation, safety and environmental issues. I would start by giving an outline of my presentation. I'll start with introduction, some key definitions, national crash statistics in our country, universal strategies to deal with road safety issues. I'll give a brief summary on project cycle, and then come to the safety and environment issues in project implementation, and give a few recommendations and the way forward. Road safety is still one of the major issues worldwide. Approximately 1.3 million people die in road crashes annually. Additionally, 20 to 50 million people are injured. 93% of the world's fatalities on the roads occur in low and middle income countries. Even though these countries have approximately 60% of the world's vehicles. Road traffic crashes cost most countries 3% of their GDP. And even though road fatalities are given in such numbers, 1.3 million people, sometimes when we look at these figures, it doesn't mean much for us. But gradually, as years goes by, we are seeing increase in the number of fatalities. That is death of human beings, and this is really serious. When you rank the modes of transportations, road fatalities rank very high, coming in first, even to aviation and rail. So we need to really pay attention to the number of fatalities on our roads. I would like to start by giving a brief definitions of some key words. Road traffic safety are measures taken to minimize road traffic crashes and resulting injuries. In general, the state of road safety is considered to be the result of the interaction between three main factors: human, vehicle, and the road environment. Road traffic crash is a rare, random, multi-factor event which results due to the failure of one or more road users to cope with the road environment, leading to undesirable situations, such as injury, death, or damage to property. And then environmental management are measures put in place to identify and manage a project's environmental risks and impacts. When we come to our national crash statistics, according to National Road Safety Authority in 2022, road traffic crashes kill over 2,000 people annually and 15,000 injured, with 6,000 victims seriously injured and rendered economically inactive. The socio-economic cost of road traffic crashes in Ghana is estimated at 1.6% of its GDP. So the statistics on the table are statistics from January to August for 2023 and 2022, and they were compared, and you could see that there was a gradual decline of the numbers of cases reported, vehicles involved, the persons killed, persons injured, and the pedestrians knocked down. The number of crashes have risk factors and that are contributing to these numbers. And they are non-existence of walkways, according to the statistics. Motorists who are transversing the roadway at high speeds, faulty vehicles, driver fatigue, and the absence of road furniture on some of our roads. There are universal strategies that are adopted to deal with road safety issues. We have the proactive strategies. That are strategies that you adopt before the crashes or accidents happen. And then we have the reactive strategies that are strategies that you implement after the crashes have happened. With the proactive strategies, we have road safety audits, IRAP star ratings, And with the reactive strategies, you have accident and investigation analysis. Road safety audits, as we all know, are formal safety performance examination of an existing or future road or intersection by an independent and multidisciplinary team. And the IRAP star ratings are an objective measure of the level of safety which is built into a road through more than 50 road attributes that influence risk for vehicle occupants, motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. These are all, the last three are the vulnerable road users. Now, the project cycle. Every project goes through a cycle. We start with identification, preparation, appraisal, negotiations, procurement, negotiations, implementation, and then completion and evaluation. Now, today's presentation will focus more on the implementation stage. Safety and environmental issues in project implementation stage. One of the issues are insufficient planning. Safety planning at the early stages of a road project is very crucial in mitigating potential risks. The key elements to consider in safety planning during the early stages of a road project are risk assessment. You need to conduct a comprehensive risk assessment to identify potential hazards associated with the project. This includes considering factors such as traffic flow, environment conditions, and the type of construction activities involved. And I remember Dr. Gamali has done a big presentation on risk assessments. And so for a deep dive, you can refer to that presentation. It is really a key issue in safety and environment during the project implementation stage. We need to plan for everything. As the saying goes, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. There's also, you need to do a site analysis. You need to walk your site, evaluate the construction site thoroughly to understand its specific characteristics and challenges. You need to consider factors that are existing on your project site, existing infrastructure, communities, markets, schools, health posts, hospitals, all that, to ensure that you plan for them. You need to do stakeholder involvement, engage all the stakeholders on your site to make sure that all their grievances, issues that will come up are planned for and catered for before the implementation stage. Safety goals and objectives. You need to set safety goals. You need to, example is a vision zero for accidents. You need to set a goal and then plan towards it. If then you don't set a goal, there's no way you can achieve anything. So it is key to have safety goals and objectives on your project. Then you need to budget for the safety issues and the environmental issues. There should be budget allocation for all the safety and environment issues that will come up in the implementation phase. The next key issue is inadequate road designs. Normally, we do road safety audits at different stages of design, but in situations where the audit is not done, these are some of the issues that come up during project implementation. Inadequate road design is a significant issue in road project implementation that can lead to various problems affecting safety and environment. One of the issues is safety hazards. Inadequate site distances can be a safety hazard and can cause accidents. Poorly designed road layouts, intersections can create safety hazards for both motorists and pedestrians. The next issue is limited consideration for future growth or traffic congestions. You know, when implementation starts, there's always traffic congestion. And so sometimes when the designs are inefficient, it can lead to traffic congestions, especially during peak hours. When there's a lack of proper planning of traffic flow and capacity in our project implementation stage, it can result in bottlenecks and delays. Sometimes we also fail to account for future population growth and increased traffic that can result from just the implementation and then the road opening. And this also can cause increased demand for the same road space and can cause bottlenecks. These bottlenecks during implementation stage cause driver fatigue for driving long or staying in traffic for long hours, can cause driver fatigue, which also causes accidents. And then after they come out of the implementation zone, project implementation zone or work zone, they normally try to speed to compensate for the lost time they have had, and which also causes accidents. Another issue is inefficient intersections. Intersections that are inadequate can also cause accidents. Poorly designed merges and diverges can also contribute to congestion and accidents. Lack of accessibility. Failure to consider the need of disabled individuals in our work zones can also lead to accidents. Inadequate design of ramps and pedestrian crossings and accessibility features can limit mobility of these vulnerable road users. Also, there should be needs assessments done along the project corridor during the design stage for us to know that to meet the engineering needs of the accesses that the communities adjoining the road space need. This will ensure that they do not create their own accesses, which are unengineered, and when erosion happens, silt and gravels are deposited on the engineered road, and then when vehicles use these roads, accidents and crashes happen. You can see in the pictures on the slide that there are pedestrians who are walking on the road, and then they are sharing the same space as the vehicles. There are also poor drainage systems, poorly designed pavements leading to manifestations of distresses, which can also cause accidents. Environmental impact. There are inadequate considerations for environmental impact, such as preserving natural habitats and disruptions to ecosystem, which can also result in negative environmental impacts. Traffic. Okay, so on this slide, the UN is concerned about road safety, and so has given us targets. Targets 3 and 4 applies to engineering, and in that by 2030, all new roads should have achieved a technical standard of all road users that take into account road safety and meet a 3-star rating or better. That means we need to design for all the needs of road users, especially vulnerable road users, to be able to meet the 3-star rating. Another issue is traffic management challenges. Normally, traffic management is a critical aspect of road project implementations. Issues in this area can lead to congestion, safety hazards, and disruptions. Here are some of the common traffic management issues in road project implementation. When you poorly execute detours and road closures, they lead to confusion and congestion. When there's inadequate traffic control measures during construction, it can also lead to traffic management challenges. The lack of proper detour, insufficient signing and markings, unplanned road closures, limited pedestrian and cycling accommodations. You need to make sure that the pedestrian and cyclists moving in your work zone are catered for. Inefficient traffic flow management and limited use of technology. We need to incorporate, as Engineer Yolanda Kome said in her presentation, we need to incorporate efficient traffic flow management and use ITS to help us manage our work zones better. Inadequate coordination. There should be coordination between the contractor, consultant, supervising authorities for traffic management challenges to be managed better. Sometimes we implement projects on roads that are brownfields. And so this is a key issue that has to be handled well. We did, as an example, we did a traffic management plan on the Tema Motorway interchange project, and the contractor submitted his CMP, the traffic management plan, and we went through, we gave him comments, but later we sat down and realized that the Tema interchange is a very key road that leads to the hinterlands, connecting the port and the hinterland. So we decided that we would go back, take traffic data, and then simulate to make sure that what the consultant had submitted would work. When we simulated, we saw that the level of service of all the key points, turning points on the traffic management plan were all a level of service F. So we went in and then designed using 30% of detours, and then added signalization. And then the level of service came down to Bs and Cs. And so we knew that this would work. We implemented it, and we now it is working at the Tema motorway interchange. We have gone back. We didn't just, after implementing, we didn't just stop. We've gone back to assess it. Some of the traffic lights, the green times needed tweaking because we are not using ITS now. We have to go back to the field and then make sure that there are no too much congestion on the traffic management and then in the work zone. So we've gone back, we've assessed, and then we've tweaked the timing for the signals, and everything is working fine now. These are some of the road furniture that were implemented on the traffic management plan. Communication is key. I know engineer, our PRO, Cecil Wintum, has done another presentation on communication. It is very key. We need to communicate. We need to do a comprehensive communication plan, stakeholder engagement. We need to use variable message sign, that is ITS. We need to deploy those things in our work zone. We need public awareness campaigns, and then we need avenues to receive complaints from the stakeholders. They should know a system of complaint and feedback so that they can use it when they have problems. Work zone safety is another issue in the implementation stage. We need to efficiently design our work zones to ease congestion and to minimize accidents and delay. Inadequate signage is a problem in the work zone. Poorly managed traffic flow is a problem in the work zone. Protecting the worker safety is also an issue. Inadequate visibility at night is also an issue. And pedestrian safety during in the work zone is also an issue. Lack of supervision. There needs to be supervision, because once you leave the workers, after even training them, you need to supervise them, because people would like to do things on their own way. So supervision is really key. Road surface condition. Even in the work zone, the road surface must be good. We need to maintain the road surface in a good condition for the road user to use. Another key issue is worker equipment and material safety, and then supervision again. There should be worker training. There should be adequate PPEs. There should be maintenance of the vehicles and the tools that the workers use on site. There should be safety measures for construction equipment. That is deploying safety technologies such as collision avoidance systems, the backup cameras for the vehicles, proximity sensors for blind spots in equipment, the use of equipment, in the use of construction equipment. And then we need to secure hazardous materials. It is very important that hazardous materials on our sites are secured so that it will minimize accidents. Another key issue is emergency response preparedness in implementation stage. We need to develop a comprehensive emergency response plan for the site. I was talking about developing emergency response developing emergency response in our sites. We need to develop a comprehensive emergency response plan and post it for everybody to see how emergencies are handled. Even it is not just for our site, even in our homes, we should post and train our house and people on how to, when a fire comes, what are we going to do? When there's a burglary, what are we supposed to do? Do we have our whistles in the right places to alert our neighbors that we are being attacked? All these are key. And so we must take it onto our site and make sure that we train and plan our emergency response. We should not just limit it to this. We must make sure that emergency vehicles like fire tenders and ambulances that need to traverse our sites are catered for. We should have a plan for them when there are emergency vehicles, we need gated roadways that we can open for them to have easy access, because it might be me today in the ambulance, it might be you tomorrow in the ambulance. We all need to consider these people in our work zones. Then environmental impact is also a key issue in an implementation stage. Road works impact on the environment. The environmental issues are a lot: air, noise, water, vibration, pollution. Some of the measures we need to adopt are we need to assess and address potential environmental impacts on our project. We need to implement measures to provide for, to prevent soil erosion, water pollution, and other ecological concerns. We need to make sure our borrowed pits are reinstated. Erosion control barriers are there. Sediment basins for polluted water and other pollutants are catered for, and the proper disposal of hazardous waste. The table here shows the key environmental issues and the sources and the mitigation measures for these environmental issues on our site. Recommendation and the way forward. We need to do a comprehensive safety planning for road projects. It is very key. Without it, okay, so we need to plan for our road projects. Safety planning is key. We need to do road safety audits before we implement the designs. It is easier to make changes on paper than when they have been implemented. So road safety audits are very key. We need to implement intelligent traffic management plans. ITS is very key. It's the way forward. We need to incorporate some of these in our designs and then make sure we implement them. We need good communication strategies. It is very in our projects. We need to prepare work zone safety plans for all work activities. We need to review them regularly, because the road work zone keeps changing and adjustments needs to be made. It would make a successful project if we continue to evaluate and adjust our work zone safety plans. We need to do safe equipment and material holding plans to ensure that our equipment do not cause accidents and our materials also do not cause accidents. We need proper emergency response preparedness. We need proper environmental management plans. We need to insert clauses in the conditions of contract to penalize contractors for defaulting in implementation of adequate safety and environmental plans. I know the World Bank has something like that it is implementing, and it is very good, because once we leave people, they would like to do what they want, and money also is an issue. So once we make it a penalty, I'm sure people will be forced to abide by these safety and environment plans. We also need safety, health, and environment reporting on our projects. It is very key. I can't end a road safety presentation without doing some few advocacy. So I will just use a few minutes to go through that. I remember I changed drivers for my kids because my driver resigned and I had to hire a new driver. Suddenly, things like that didn't used to make me panic, made me worry now. Like, how are they going to be safe on their drive to the school? Is a driver who is licensed a good driver? Do I need a safer vehicle for my kids with assisted driving and safety, more safety features? Then I said to myself, my kids are not even that vulnerable because they are in a vehicle. What about the kids that have school journeys, that traverse our highways with speeds of 80 kilometers and more? Road safety is sharing the responsibility. I like to keep it in the present tense so that it keeps me on my toe. It is sharing the responsibility. We all need to go an extra mile to save a loved one, and saving a loved one is saving everybody else. The engineer, as an engineer, I am a driver first or a pedestrian first before I get to my work. The licensing authority should punish drivers who kill people on our roads by withholding their license and making them not to drive anymore. For killing somebody, I think it is worth it. We all need education on road safety issues, as we are doing now. It will keep us from making mistakes in the future. Education is good. We need to carry on saying the same things. It will change behavior. The enforcer on the road who let the trotro pass for speeding and not punishing him or making him aware of his fault, will carry that same trotro driver will carry your wife or your relative to the market the next day. The politicians should show more commitment by dedicating more funds solely for road safety purposes. COVID in January, the numbers were just 171. By December, it was 1 million, and it was declared a pandemic. Road safety is killing over 1 million. And so I feel it is a pandemic or an epidemic that we all need to work towards. As I walk through my work zone, I am setting up the work zone with the thought in my mind that my son, who is late, an 18-year-old who is late from a party, will drive through the work zone at night. He shouldn't be killed just for making the mistake of driving at night. We should all put our hands to the wheel and keep our road safety in the forefront of whatever we do. The engineer should make safe system approach on his mind and design and implement these things. Thank you very much.